Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of Your Co-Wife podcast. It's been a while and it's so good to be back here. Now, today we are talking about a very important topic. I think it applies to almost everybody. And we're centered around moving from being broke to being blessed, having that mindset shift as a woman. And I'm not in the studio alone. It was an incredible honor to get her to be in the studio today. And I know for certain that she's the best person to handle this topic. She's no other than Mrs. Jumoke Onusoji. She is a financial expert. She's part of a team of Power to Know, and she's been really educating women to growing from just ground zero to upwards in their financial journey. It's going to be an incredible time. So sit back, relax, and enjoy yourself. Mrs. Jumoke, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you. Hi, everyone.
Thank you so much. So when it comes to financial freedom or letting women know how much it's important to be well, I would say, first of all, what really motivated you to go into teaching people on how to be better or do better with their finance?
Thank you for that, Susan. So I'd say from the onset, I actually had a passion for building/generating wealth from the onset. I'd say from like my secondary school days, we had like fruits like pawpaw, coconuts, and all those things in the house. I'll make coconut candy, make pawpaw, and so I've always had that selling. But then there are two different things. It's a different thing to make the money, and it's another thing to actually keep the money. And where I struggled the most was the inflow was coming in, but then at the end of the month or at the end of any period, there was nothing to show for it. So that was when I actually now sat down and had a word with myself that I cannot continue like this. And that was when I had the turnaround.
Okay, so it seems like as if for you it was more of a personal experience where you decided that, okay, I've had enough, and it kind of motivated you to do better. And then now you're teaching women how to, grow, how to, do better when it comes to their finances. But then I would want to think that there are some mindsets, there are some ideologies that we have, or women have generally that limits them when it comes to wealth creation, doing better financially. I would like you to share some of those mindsets and the corrections to those mindsets that you think are topmost on the list.
Okay, so as a believer, my favorite book says that we are the support to the house. So this is for like when you're married, and for even not when you're not married, once you're out of school in terms of you've finished the first stages in life of education, like you've gone to primary, you've gone to secondary, you've gone to uni, you've done your masters, you're not working. You want to be able to fend for yourself as a single person. Do you understand? You don't want to be a burden to anyone. You want to be in a stage where even if you are still in your parents' house, you can contribute to the house. And if you want to move out, move by yourself, obviously be able to pay your bills by yourself. Basically be able to look after you, get the things you need to survive in the world we live in today. So for me, I think that's a key motivation. Not looking for handouts from people. I'm not saying it's bad for people to give you or help you leverage up, but there should come a stage in your life where you should be able to like stand for yourself and say, in life, I want this for myself, and this is how I will get this I want. I believe majority of women want that, be it you're single or you're married. So to me, I think that motivation should be there. You so see something nice at it's within your budget, it's within your capability of getting, you get it, and it gives you that feel good. That's how I see it anyway. It gives you that feel good boost, and then you don't have this mentality of people owe you. No one owes you anything. You owe yourself. I think that's the key.
So this is applicable not just to singles, even married, because it's broad. And I feel like sometimes there are some mindsets that we bring in, especially from being single into being married. I know some of my head could be, oh, I'm not going to get married to a struggling man. That's a mindset, because in her head, she believes that my husband should buy everything. They should be the financial pillar support, that kind of mindset. Would you say that kind of mindset is a right mindset to have as a woman? Or, I don't know. What do you think about that kind of
Right. So for me, I will not really condemn anyone's mindset right now, but I will speak on it from my point of view. So obviously we all have right to choose what we want to choose or believe what we want to believe. But one thing I just don't really get is, once you've believed something or you've chose something, just see it through. Don't come back and complain. That's just one thing. So yeah. So now, if you're saying you want a rich man, all well and good. I don't have any problem with that. But God forbid something happens. His business goes down all of a sudden. He took ill. He can't. Something happens. A misfortune happens. How do you survive? In that, how do you pick yourself back up if you are totally dependent on someone? And now, another question I always ask is, all those years of your education and your learning till you got married, what are you doing with them? So it's just to go and pack it up somewhere and then just wait for someone to look after you. I mean, that's me. I'm not saying it's wrong, but that's just the way I see it. I see things. I'm not saying the man shouldn't do what he needs to do, but as a woman as well, we are meant to support the family. We're not saying carry the burden of the whole house. Yes. So that's how I see it.
Okay, so then the question now comes. Okay, so let's now be practical. Were you transitioning from being a single lady, having your life ahead of you and then getting married? And for you, did you have some limiting beliefs? I don't want to call them some mindsets though, that you felt that you had to work on. And then when you transitioned into being married, how did that affect you? And what was that breaking point for you? You said, okay, you know what? I need to stand up. I need to make some changes. Or was it just all right from time? You just knew what you want to hit the bullseye and you kept running? What was your experience, or what is the experience when it comes to
Thank you.
finance?
Thank you. So like I said at the beginning, I always had that go-getter mentality. I just had to get things done. So one of the challenges I had when I got into marriage was, I would say I struggled. I mean, the fact that I now have to share what I do with someone else, to say, oh, I need to do this, I want to do that. Before, I just wake up and I do. So I needed to learn how to slow down and carry him along, and think it's not just me. Majority of women, if you're like me, you will struggle with the listening. Initially, you'll be like, you can't tell me what to do. Or, you'll be like, because I've been living by myself since the age of 19, you can imagine. So all of a sudden, I got married and now I'm having to say, so tomorrow I need to start this business. I need to go. I really, really struggled with that. And in terms of my money as well, I needed to come to a place where we had the conversation to know, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to run the house. In my head, I'm thinking, and it's my money. I'm the one. So, but having the right partner works as well. So then we were able to put a balance to say, we work together, we bring the money together to do this, but obviously it doesn't stop you from achieving some other things that you want to achieve. And like I say, that will not be the case of many people. That is just my case. So if you find yourself in a situation like that, one thing I always tell ladies first is, there's some conversations you should have before you get married. Money is one of them. It's very, very important. Have conversation about money. Have conversation about everything that is relating to money. How many children you want to have, where you want to live. My point is, understands where the partner or wherever you want to get married, where their money mind is very, very important. Because one thing I've come to realize in marriage is, or in any partnership, if one person makes a huge mistake, it affects everybody. And sometimes in business, if it's a business partnership, you can easily say to yourself, oh, I'm going to walk out of this business. But if it's marriage, it's not that easy. You will need to ride that roller coaster together. So if you're not yet married, yes. If you're married, you need to find a way to both of you come back to the drawing board and see where you can meet and then start again to rebuild. Else, you're going nowhere anytime soon. Yeah.
So let's assume, as a woman, you have understood or you've come to knowledge that you need to improve, you need to do your finances, you're in so much debt and you're trying to work your way out of debt and you're trying to climb, trying to save, you're trying to, all those things about financial literacy that we all hear. And then you might someone who is on the opposite climb. If assume the deed has been done, you actually were not very careful to say, okay, we must both be on the same level when it comes to our value for money and finances. So now they're struggling and you're trying to build, but it seems like the other person is, well, on the other end of the spectrum. And like, you only live once, just making some financial mistakes here and there. And it's like, you're struggling. So how would you advise such a woman, going forward? Because, okay, she has children, she has a life ahead of her. She doesn't want her home to, suffer. At the same time, she knows that the money issue is a major issue that they're having. So how would she handle such a situation?
Okay. So I would give an advice on how I will handle that. Say, for example, I'm married and like you said, I figured out that our finances is a mess, whereas my partner is not ready to make amends or he doesn't even see that we're in the mess. As a Christian, a believer, I'll pray that God should touch his heart. That's one. We have to do this. And then secondly, I will sit him down and have a conversation to say, this is where we are, but I can see that you are not ready to make changes, to move. I am ready to make changes, okay? There will be situations where it will be very tough and the man might say, I don't understand what you're saying, blah, blah, blah. There'll be arguments. You now need to find a way. It's going to be hard. Let's just be honest with ourselves.
Sure.
I will now find a way to bring more money into the house. At the same time, try and still balance the house. When I say balance the house, not financially, do not really let the issues or the new task that I'm bringing in to make money affect the home. It's going to be difficult. Let's just be honest. And once I start, so it might be a case of start looking for what to sell. How do I want to sell? Who do I want to partner with? When these monies are coming in, I will let you know that I'm making changes. You will see the changes in the house. I won't declare how much is on ground yet, but you will see the changes in me to say, oh, okay, now.
Doesn't that seem like you're being deceptive in some sort of way? The way it is now.
Right. Okay. So that's why I'm saying I'm not giving you a figure, but I'm telling you, you would know that I'm moving. You can see. And it's not, and when I say moving, I'm saying I am showing you that the debt is going down. Like, say, for example, the debts that I owe is going down. Like, say, for example, if maybe I had a bank loan, the bank loan is now reducing. I'm showing you that the bank loan, because the money I'm making in then is not for luxury or fancy life. It's to tidy first. Do you get what I mean? So I'm tidying my finances first. And by doing that, it means I'm paying down. I'm showing you I'm paying down. I'll be tired. Now, once I get to a stage where I've paid down the people I owe, and then I'm ready to build up. I'll say build up in the sense that, do I want to have an online store? Do I want to continue doing maybe like providing services? Say, for example, if I'm an accountant, doing extra work online for people. Those are I'm giving examples of how you can make those extra income. There was a time, there's this lady in Ibadan, I remember then. She knows how to fry puff puff very well, but she didn't have the capital to start. So I know someone close to me said, how much do you need to start this? Obviously, it has to be somebody you trust to a certain extent and have an agreement. How much do you need to scale up on this puff puff business? Because we can see that it's a big deal and money is coming out of it. So I get 100,000 naira. I give it to her. We agree that you give me so per day. So that's another way. So that was how this lady went to upscale her puff puff business. I am not doing the puff puff. I've just invested in her business and money was coming in daily. So that's another way to bring money in. If you are, maybe you now want to start all this social media influencing. I'm just giving ways of how, things that you can do that could bring the money in. Now the money is in, you are paying down. You need to, let's be honest with ourselves. It's not going to be an easy ride. Let's just register that fact now, because it's like you have a plus and a minus. But if it's at some point when he sees the difference in the fact that you now say, okay, I've paid down my debt. I used to owe 200,000. Now I've paid it down to 100,000. In the next 3 months, I hope this 300,000, I will have finished paying it. And then once I finish that, I want to start a business, or I want to do so and so. So the next money that this is what the money will be doing. His mind will slowly start to shift.
Okay, so this is us assuming that this is a sensible man, one who is very much aware of the financial situation and is working hand in hand with his wife, regardless of, say, his values when it comes to money. Say, okay, I know I'm a spendthrift, I spend a lot, while you are the more prudent one. So he allows her, now she's making up more, and we can clearly see that she is making tremendous effort. So that's his ideal situation. But then there's some not so ideal situations where it feels like she's taking one step forward, and it's almost like it could be the other way around. But because we're targeting women mostly, that's why I'm having this conversation around women. But in the case where it's like he's making all her efforts futile, like he's taking money out. For example, put it in one joint account in such a way that he's making it more difficult to even bring down the debt. He's incurring more debt. His habits are despicable. He's maybe at some point, he says, okay, I need some. He's just lousy with money, generally. There's some people that I've heard of, someone who's okay, support me. I want to set up a business on my own. And the woman is willing and ready, and she just, brings out the money. Okay, or let's run the business together. And you can see that there's no clear-cut distinction between the capital. Once the capital is put in, there's no running. The cost, everything is just mumbled up, and it's bringing the whole thing down. In that case, what would you advise her to do? Will you say, okay, should I cut up or separate our finances? What would you advise that woman to do? Because it's almost like I see she's taking one step forward and he's bringing her 5 steps backward.
Good. So, I said initially that she will have to pray and then sit and have a conversation with him. That is the conversation they are having. The conversation we are having is, let's say the name of my husband is Tolu. Tolu, this is where we are. If we continue like this for the next 2 years, we will not survive. We will literally be on the street. I am not ready to be on the street. At this point, we have 50,000 naira left in the account, which we know, plus our normal inflow every month, which already is not enough. I am willing to go and look into how we can make changes. I can make changes and make it work. When these changes are coming in, they are coming in, but they are not sitting in the bank. They are offsetting stuff or setting stuff up. That's the conversation I'm having. So there is no money sitting in any account that you can go and remove. That's number one. So once I've paid down with offset, the next level is I am building with it. I will show you what I am doing, but you cannot put hand inside because we will drown. What I'm doing here is meant to be you and I should be doing, but you don't see it, and I don't want to drown. I don't want to die early. I don't want to be disgraced. So that is why I am taking this upon myself to go and do. So even if he has a business idea, there is no money for that business idea right now because we're even trying to survive first. And in that trying to survive, I am putting my head out there to get more money into the house. So the moment the income is coming in, I'm offsetting stuff. Maybe that process could take me 6 months, 1 year, I don't know. But the moment I'm at a stage where I'm a bit balanced, then I start building, okay, what else do I need to do? Okay, Tolu, as you can see, it's going to, let's be brash. It's going to be hot for hot. We are Christians, we are praying, but we don't want to drown. And I'm praying that if, I want to see it from a Christian perspective, but let me not just take it from that angle. At some point, he should see it as well. I would want to believe that he would see it as well at some point. I would really, really want to believe, because you can see how I'm pushing. And there is no way you will see a good thing and not want it. And then when we get to a stage of I've paid the debt down, which I shouldn't even be doing on my own, but I'm doing it. Now, Tolu, this is where we are. We owed 235 million. By the grace of God, with the other things I've been able to do, the debt has come down to 1.5 million. I am still carrying on with what I'm doing. What I'm doing brings me X amount a month. And with that X amount is how I've been able to do this. I know some men will be like, so you think you are the man now? I'm not the man. I am not the man, but I am here to support what you do. But in this scenario, you are not doing anything, my brother. Do we end up on the streets? No. And another thing I don't really enjoy or I don't like is taking our business to the third party. Third party means outside me and my husband, you are a third party. But when it gets to that level, each marriage should have people they are accountable to. Yes, there must be somebody. There are some people right now in my husband's life and in my life. If I just say it's jokingly, I will call so will be like, far now. Yes, you don't have people like that in your marriage. Well, I don't know. So people like that at some stage will come in when all the thing hits the roof. They will have to come in. Because I'm not saying that we don't love each other. I'm not saying that we don't want this marriage to work. I'm saying need to live. In this life we need shelter. We need the basic things of life. The basic things of life right now are suffering. Let's get back to having the basics before we now even talk of having extras. So if I find out that is getting to that stage of is making it unbearable for me, I'll go to the people that we're accountable to. If you don't have anybody that you're accountable to, my sister, I'm really sorry. You still need to carry this journey on. It will be hard, but you still need to keep, for the sake of you, he will come round eventually. That one I want to believe. I want to believe he will come round at some point. Yes.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much for that. So now let's moving on as a woman, so that it doesn't seem like as if, we're just making it one-sided. As a woman who is navigating life, single, or most importantly, I think let's just focus on married now. Now, are there some financial habits, things that you feel women should invite and should do in order to do the practical steps that you think women should take? Because on the other hand, you have women who are known for, just being sort of, they want to buy every ashrabi. They want to be, I can't be left out. I need to use a certain kind of phone. And at the same time, they're putting so much financial strain. And in the world we're in today, a lot of things are superficial. People are just doing the most. So what would be 1, 2, 3? Give us, financial steps that we should take and things that we should do.
Okay, thank you. So now we are not even talking about you're trying to make the income. Now you have the income. We're talking about the managing side and make sure you don't drown, right? Is what we're talking about right now. Okay, good. So if you can afford the basics of life, you're a woman and you're married or single, you can afford your rent, you can eat, basic things you can have. And then you have a bit of savings in terms of maybe emergency funds. If anything happens, you can quickly touch on. You have, no matter how small, you have some form of investment, even if it's a land in somewhere. You have that. So that's what I'm calling basic right now, because in the world we live in, that's like basic. Now, the kind of person you are determines the kind of person you attract anyway. I know they say people pressure you to do things. It's to an extent, it's possible. But I tell you this, is because you want to do it.
Yeah.
Yes, because you know the consequences of what will happen if you only have 100,000 naira and somebody you have to ashwebis to buy, and after that 100,000 is gone, you're flat. You know the consequences. You know you're not dumb, but you just think I'll rough it. Fine. Do not come back and complain because you knew the consequences of it. Yeah. And I would really urge people, do not let people pressure you into anything. In my life, I don't think I've bought up to 3 ashwebis. It's not for the lack of money. Yes. I don't think I've bought up, okay, let me say 5. and I'm not young, I'm over 40. So don't pressure yourself. Know what is core to you. Understand that we are all at different stages in life at different times. Some people are not bothered. Like me now, there's some things that I take as non-negotiable. So you must have your non-negotiables. For me, I'm not a food person. I can go all day with just maybe eating 2 slices of bread and drinking Gary. I'm not bothered. But where I live, I like to be comfortable. I can live in a 1-bedroom flat, but that 1-bedroom should have the stuff I need that makes me comfortable because I'm a homely person. Do you understand? Understand you. So once you understand you, whatever excess is out of that, you now split it as well. Don't just, the world we live in today, the things are not even, goodness, like there's no guarantee of anything anywhere anymore. There's not. So try to live for you, make plans for you. At the most, people will talk about you 2-3 days, 1 week, and they'll forget about it. They'll move to the next. So why kill yourself? Why? Try and have some form of savings. One thing I tell ladies that I did when I started, I change money to, say for example, if I live in Nigeria, maybe I have 50,000. I want to change that 50,000 to dollars. If I have 20,000, I want to change that 20,000 to dollars. That's a little form. By that, you have started saving already. Just by doing that. Because the value of that dollar is going up. Do you get what I mean? That's, little things that make sure you put money aside, put things in place. Know what age do you want to stop working? What age do you want to have a business? People's marriages, people's naming ceremony, every week people are getting married, people are giving birth. But you yourself, are you moving on in life? Are you happy? But then if that's what makes you happy, fine. As long as you don't come back crying out to us.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. So now we're living in a world where we know, or it's said that one stream of income is not enough in order to live well. So now, what role do you think multiple streams of income or side businesses will help in or play in building your finances as a lady, as a woman?
Right. I believe in that. I believe in multiple streams of income. I also believe that let's just say something. Money makes the world go round, and money makes you access so many things. There's some rooms that even if, say for example, there's a conference happening and they say the conference is going to be 100K, just by you affording that 100K to get into that room, you are buying connections without even knowing. So this thing of everything's money. Yes, you need money.
Okay.
You need money. You need money. When you don't take sorry to the bank, you don't take sorry to pay school fees, you don't take sorry or apologize. No, you don't. You need money. So and this age, like sometimes I just look at young ones, I was like, wow, if I was in my 20s in this dispensation. That's why when I see young ladies doing much, my head is like, you got it, girl. Turn your passion. Your passion alone will give you money. Collaboration will give you money. Like I said, the lady that does the puff thing, I'm not the one going to fry. We have an agreement. She is frying on a daily. She's giving me so amounts. I know sometimes you won't always get good people, but know when to exit in some partnership, in some things, so you don't get burnt. I'm not saying you won't get burnt at all, but there's so many things that does not really need your involvement. Buy into people's ideas. Somebody wants to set up a company and they come to you and say, they give you the case study, or there's a name for it. It's not coming to me now. The pack you put together, your business plan, and say, oh, I want to start this. And you're saying, okay, if you come in, give me so amount, you get 10%. That's a way of making money. You know how to cook, especially for people going to the West right now. Things like photography is a side hustle. On a Saturday, on a Sunday, you could easily pick up $500, £500. You are cooking in the comfort of your house. They are dispatching it. You are making hair. I know in America and UK, hey, if you are doing hair, you are earning more than somebody. And there's this peace. Let me tell you, money is like insurance. There's this peace. With insurance is only good as when you have it. When you have money, there are some tests. When I say tests, as in some things that you want. The moment you have that money, that quench will go down. That quench is there because you don't have the cash. As I am right now, I'll literally walk into a store, some stores, and I want to buy a particular thing. They don't have that thing there. I walk back out because the hunger is not there anymore. You've been able to kill it because you have a backbone aside God. And I'm not saying worship money, but you have a peace of mind that if anything goes wrong, there'll be food on your table, your mortgage will be paid, your rent will be paid, you can fuel your car. You can do the basics. So having multiple streams of income is extremely important, no matter how small. 100 naira from there, 300 naira from there. There was another one my friend did back then, this Uber business thing. I don't know if they still do it. You just get a car, somebody else drives it. I know there are headaches around that. I'm just giving examples. I'm not saying do things like that. Well, just try and think. And the way we should try and build these multiple streams of income is make sure they are not really zapping your energy. Don't do too much that will zap your energy. But there are other stuff. I see people just putting content back to back on all these social media handles, and they are getting money. I, for one, I speak. I'm speaking to people. You consult me. I'm making money, even if it's just $10 or $5 you're paying me. If I collect $5 from there, bearing in mind I still have my day job. Bearing in mind my husband is still there that will say, oh babe, take. Bear in mind that I'm doing a buying and selling. So yes, they said a little drop of water becomes an ocean, right? So it is very, very important to have at least, if you don't have any as you speak right now, in the next 6 months, try and work on two. Work on two. You will figure out that the moment you feel the buzz, it just encourages you to do. And that was going back to what I was saying about initially, if you're dealing with a stubborn man, he will see it in the end. We'll see. He's checking in the house, he's seen a bag of gari, he's seen a half bag of rice, and he knows it's not his money. And you are telling him you are doing stuff, and you are showing him what you are doing, but you are not just, it shouldn't be the right way of doing things. But we found ourselves in this position and we need to move forward. Do you get what I mean? He's seeing things, the fridge is not empty. From the business you're making, is going straight to the paying. You shouldn't be paying the children's school fees, but you're doing it. You will change. You will change. Yes. So I'd say it's essential. It's not even a matter of should you not. It is. One or two. If you're like some of us, let's just close our mouths. You don't want to know maybe anything do okay. My hand is being itched this way.
Thank you. It goes without saying the importance of having multiple streams of income. Actually, if you live in Nigeria, you will know. And generally, things are just not what they used to be. So just sitting back and then thinking that you have hand-me-down some people. Gone are those days where you can just easily go, just give me your 2K there. People are using their 2K for things. And they really did not factor it in when they were budgeting. Exactly. Now, talking about budgeting, there's this question that I've always wanted to ask, and I feel like you're the right person. When it comes to being realistic, knowing where you are financially as a person or maybe as a couple, how do you practical ways to budget, especially when your income is lean, and so that you don't overstep? Budgeting. Okay, so just break it down. Budgeting on a very small income, mean income, as you work your way up and keep building financially. Let's assume you're still on one stream of income, and we can be mild end. Yes. So how do you budget? Practical ways that you would advise a lady to move budgets, make those financial steps, and then work building to now increase it. Yeah.
Okay, so there's something somebody told me, I'd say about 10 years ago, and it changed my life. She said, your future is a deal. Your holiday is a deal. When I say bill in the sense that is It's like your rent is your electricity, it's a bill. So when you are drawing up your budget, your gas, your electric, your rent or your mortgage, if you have a car loan, all those things, which I mean, let's not even go up. I don't even want to talk about car loan today, but let's just the basic things, the amount you want to spend on food, your electricity, recharging your phone, your future should be in there as well. Your savings is a big. Your holiday should be in there, even if it's just once in a year. And it doesn't even have to be an international flight. It should be in there. So you are earning 100,000. From that 100,000, even if it's 100 naira, put away and don't spend it. You will be shocked. The first time in my life I saved 500 pounds, I cried. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was not possible because I was like, when everything went down, literally, I was like, but then I started hearing stuff that I'm pointing out today. You know, these things that people save money into, they could build it. There's a name for them. This piggy bank. God bless you. Thank you. One thing about budgets and savings is discipline. You must have this discipline and understand your why. Those are the two things that will push you to do this thing. So you have a why, you have a goal, and you discipline yourself. Okay? For the next 6 months, I am taking food to work. It's a sacrifice. It means I have to wake up every morning to make food. I get myself a decent flask. These things I'm telling you is not like I've not done it before. I have. Till today, I take food to work because it's now become a norm for me. You get a good flask. People will say you cannot kill yourself. Well, it's like I said, you are the one that knows what is driving you, how far you want to get to where you are going to, and if you even have anything that is driving you. I am speaking for me and whoever wants to listen. Right. Okay. You get a flask. Make yourself the food. Or if you know you cannot do that, you have a fixed amount. Because sometimes when you buy and when you make, it depends on. So I'm thinking of maybe, because I've lived in the West for a long time. So sometimes when you make from home, it's cheaper. But then sometimes in places like Nigeria, it might not be the case. You're better off actually buying sometimes. So let's balance it out here. But know what works for you is what we're trying to say here. So you have a budget. Okay, for food every month at work, I am spending so amount. You must not go over that amount. Every month from this my 100,000 naira, I am saving 1 naira. You have to. Every month from this 100,000, I am saving another 100 naira for in the next 6 months. I'm just going to go to Ilorin for a weekend. I just view Ilorin. It's a holiday. Everything does not have to begin in Spain and end in America. You start somewhere. You just want, there's so many places in Lagos there that, so when you start putting those little steps in place, you are building yourself. So at the end of every month, you are telling your money where to go. You are telling your money, you are paying rent. I'm buying recharge card no more than 30,000. My taxi is no more than your petrol. As long as your salary is within you can manage, you learn to squeeze. And if you cannot squeeze, you cut some stuff. I have people right now that they can afford, they are like 6-digit people, but they still tell me stuff like, this week is a no spend week for me. When they say no spend, that means anything outside their basic, their rent, their gas, their electric, their water, their petrol, they are not buying anything. Not, I saw ice cream. Yes. And these are people with 6 figures. Not to not talk of you that you don't even have 1 figure yet. So it's a discipline. You find out that the more you do it, the capacity is building. Your 20,000 is becoming 40, it's becoming 60. It encourages you to do more. You now have days like, for the next 2 days, fasting meal. For the next 2 weekends, after work, I'm not stepping out. I'm only going to church on Sunday. That's how you do it. Because if you go out, you are stepping into temptation. Deliver us from temptations and from all evils. If that helps.
Yes, it does help. Thank you so much. Okay. It's like every time I ask a question, you have more and more details and stories to tell us, and I'm like, hey, God, do we have enough time for that? Okay, but I have one question, and let's moving on to investing. There's so many things that we are learning. Okay, so now at least I know, except you're under a rock, as a woman, you know that you should save. Of course, you should earn. We know that now. And then we know that we should save. And from our conversation, you're also hitting the nail on the head again. Now, for someone who's not really good with investing, what she does is, okay, I'm putting money aside. What would you suggest as some few steps she can take in investing her money and building wealth? So it's not just, I know there was a meeting we're in and you were talking about having an emergency fund, and that thing that some women do not even know that they should have. Aside, what are some things that you suggest for a woman who knows that, okay, yes, I'm saving, but I really want to progress along the line when it comes to my investment? So what are those areas to fix it?
All right. So for me, I'm not a financial expert, but I tell you what works for me. And these are simple things that we see every day. I gave you an example initially of just changing naira to dollar is an investment. You have 100K. Go and change that 100K to dollars, change it to pounds. Come back in 6 months and change that money back and see how much you get. That's one investment. If you are a lady, I'm not saying all this other non-gold jewelry is not good. I'm not saying buy them, but invest in gold. You can always resell. The last time I went to Dubai, I dropped some old ones, some new ones, and added a little bit of money because I wanted an upgrade. Gold is an investment. Look for where they are selling land. It doesn't have to be in Lagos. Some lands some years ago in Ibadan that were going for some ridiculous amount, for a very, very small amount of money. When I heard how much they sell them now, there's some places where you could buy land on an instrumental basis. Do you understand? And I know there's still some places where you could still get land for 1 million, 2 million, 500. These are quick turns.
Yeah.
I'm giving 3 right now. We're talking of, if you're into shares and bonds, look for people that can advise you to say, oh, this company has been around for a long time. They have a good track record. You could put money into it, buy their shares. Because I remember those days, if my mom is collecting, is it dividend like this? I'll be like, hello, how did you put in that they are giving you this? So they are so that already is like 4 things that I've given you. So you can start where you are. If you buy a gold, this small earring here, if you buy, they tell you is 50,000 naira, but it's real gold. If you sell it in a year from now, you'll be shocked that you could get maybe 80,000 for it or even more. They sell coins, gold coins, silver coins. We look for genuine places to buy. Start small. The problem with people is when they hear invest, they think you need to have 10 million. No. The idea of that, you're just changing your money from pounds to dollar alone and saving it. That one alone, you're already on a win. If you don't even know what to do, just start with that one first. Put it somewhere that is safe. That God forbid, even if the house catch fire, that thing will not catch fire and burn the thing. People should use their, build a metal something, knock it down that won't burn. Start feeding it with your money, feeding it. Well, you'll be shocked in a year. Why I'm saying don't just save naira alone is the value is dropping. Try and save it to things that is increasing in value. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'd say, with those, there's so many other ways. Search online. But at least I've given 4. I know that you can easily just start. Buy retail shares or all those commodity from places like Coca-Cola, Tesla. They are trusted and they are tested. Buy gold. It doesn't have to be 2 million naira gold. Start somewhere. You basically have a plan and follow through.
Okay, start somewhere. I think that's something that, like you mentioned, I think some people just, when they hear invest, it's like as if, I don't have 10 million naira, I don't have that large sum to invest. So it starts somewhere important. Thank you so much, Ma. I could go on and we would have this conversation because it's super enlightening. Where I just want to gain and just like, okay. I think I need to learn more and more. But before we go, we'll have to keep it short. In 1-2 sentences, what would you tell someone who is struggling with a family member who feels entitled to your money? Who feels like, okay, I've suffered for you when you were growing up. I took care of you, and then the person just feels sort of entitled and doesn't really understand when you can't give beyond a certain amount, and the person feels like, but you earn so and so amount. When I demand for money, I should get it from you. What would you advise that person to do? And then how would you advise someone who is oblivious of lifestyle inflation? We have
sort of an increase in your income, and then you just decide that I'm earning the money now, so I should upgrade with that sort of thing. So yeah, this
Okay, I'll try and be close with this one, boys. Yeah. So the first thing first is, aside your husband or aside yourself, if you are single or you're married, nobody else should know what you earn. That's the number one question. So number one thing is learn to keep quiet. That's number one. So if you've already found yourself in a situation where you've not, you let them know that if you drown, everybody drowns. So you are telling me to keep giving. If I keep giving, I won't really have anything else to fall back to. God forbid anything happens, then everybody drown. That's what I'm going to say on that one. If you are somebody that the moment your lifestyle cash flow goes up and your lifestyle follows it, it means you don't even have a plan or a dream for yourself. This is how I see it. I could be wrong. There is nothing you are looking forward to, because 100,000 you are earning and all of a sudden it becomes 150. At 100,000 you are doing fine. Do you not have plans to buy a house? Or maybe the person, or maybe we're saying the person is already fully settled. But if you're not, even Dangote is still looking for money. So what do we mean by fully settled, safe? Dangote is still looking for money. So you are not a Dangote yet. You don't have multiple streams of income yet to say, okay, so I can retire from this 9 to 5. Then you're not looking out for number one. It needs to stop. Have a plan, have a goal. If it goes up, if I have extra money, I want to treat myself to this and this. Have a list of your wish list. So you don't just go crazy when money comes in. So you do it, you look at it, at this time, I can afford this, you do it. So you're not denying yourself of good things because you're the one working. So you're giving yourself the good thing, and at the same time, you are keeping, but not just eating everything. I mean, that conversation, it gets me angry. I can even, anyway.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's an honor having you. And then they withdraw the curtain. It's been enlightening. It feels like we should have a part 2 because I don't want to super long. Like, I know that we might have follow-up, but then if you have questions, I'll be getting it back to you and see if we can have a second part to this. Before you go, can you just say a quick word of prayer and then we just end?
That's fine. Thank you. Right, Father, we just want to say thank you for a time of impartation. We thank you for the wisdom that has gone ahead. We thank you, Lord, for the viewers that would listen to this. We thank you for they would have a prepared heart and a listening mind. We thank you because we know that changes will come out of this. Father, we now want to say that each and every one of us, myself, Suzette, and whoever else will be watching this, will be blessed. We pray that at the end of everything, Father, we will not be ashamed, we will not be disgraced, and we will not even put you to shame. We will make you proud. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for blessing the work of our hand. Thank you for increasing us in every area of our life. Thank you because no evil will befall each and every one of us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you so much, Ma. It was an honor having you.
Thank you.